Aloha, what's up everybody? I am in Oregon right now, Bend, Oregon. So I'm transmitting live from a different place today. And you all know these activations have been going on for a few years now, and I never miss one. They're every week. And sometimes they take place in interesting locations, depending on where I'm traveling to. So if you've been following these activations, you've seen me do them on the road, you've seen me do them on the beach, you've seen me do them in the woods. Today I'm doing it in a car, in the driveway. We got a lot of peeps in the house right now. So I'm just taking a moment out here to set up for this activation. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Where in the world are you? Let's see the web that we're creating today. We're at the first quarter moon right now. Again, these videos don't necessarily have anything to do with the moon. I say this every time, let you guys know. They don't actually have anything to do with the moon other than the fact that we use the moon as a measurement of time. The moon is reflecting the light of the sun, reflecting the light of the one. Whatever we're looking at around us is a reflection of what's going on within. So first quarter moon is just showing us that we're going through the first quarter of a cycle that's happening within us. So last week was the new moon, new beginning, and now we're 1 week in. We've got our feet in the water. What's going on? Yay, it's so good to see where y'all are tuning in from. Let me know in the comments. Indiana, Himalayas, Kauai, what's up? North Carolina, what's up? Awesome, guys. So good to see you all tuning in. Cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle a little bit more while y'all are tuning in. Let go of whatever you need to let go of. What have you been carrying all day, all week, all month? What can you set aside for this moment? Just for this moment, for this activation, so that we can open up to receive the message. Take one moment to connect to everybody that's tuning in right now. If you have a favorite group or a best friend, or you just met someone who you think could really use this message and could use this connection, this moment of connection that we're all providing right now, go ahead and share while we're still live. Share it with your groups like yoga, meditation, light workers, new age, whatever. Share it with whomever you think could help enhance this portal as we begin to open it up right here, right now. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's a 2-card pull. We have a challenge and an ally for this first quarter Equinox activation. And the challenge is 6 of Pentacles. So look at the art. This is about making sure that we're giving and receiving in balance within, so that what we see and what we create without is a reflection of that balance. Are we, like this is you in the middle here. Are you nurturing both your masculine and your feminine forces? Are you paying attention to, giving awareness to, and nurturing both your logical and your intuitive nature? Because you see these coins on the outside, a lot of people think that the pentacles in the tarot has to do with the earth element, but it actually has to do with the air element. Because the gold, the value of the gold is determined by the thoughts behind it. Things are only as valuable as the force that is behind it, the intentions behind it. So actually, the true primary elemental association with this suit is air. So how are we starting within the mind, and nurturing that balance to make sure we have the proper foundation to create a life of balance on the outside? How will we ever, because this is a collective reading, so let's go to that level of we and the collective. How will we ever create a world in balance, in harmony, ensuring the proper distribution of energies and abundance to all beings, if we don't understand yet how to properly navigate our own energies within? If we are feeding too much of one of the two forces that live within us, then we become out of balance. If you're feeding your intuitive nature too much, if you're relying only on your intuition and there's no logic there, that's out of balance. If you're relying only on your logic, that's also out of balance. So until we properly unite the forces within us, we will not see the expression of the unification of these forces without. So this is the current challenge. How can we pull our awareness back in, right? Because our awareness right now is on all things outside of us. It's more focused outwardly on all the things that are not in balance, right? We're looking outwardly and we're saying, I give too much here, or this person takes too much, or there's not enough abundance for these people here in this part of the world, or, you know, these people over here are sick. And like, there's all this, we're noticing all of the improper distributions of energy, right? And that's not helping us to take accountability. It's not helping us to make a change. It's not helping us to make things right. Just pointing out all of the imbalances around us, just constantly pointing them out, is actually going to continue to bring us down, because we're giving our awareness to all of those bad things. And that's because of the feeling that we're putting behind it. We're like judging. This is not good. This is not good. There's no balance here. Okay, but our constant pointing it out is not going to do anything either. So how can we take our energy back to center, bring it back to the one within, before we worry about all the ones without, bring it back to the one within, and accept those ways in which we can maintain our own balance. And this goes back also to the High Priestess. All of the major Arcanum cards are within each of the other cards of the deck. So the High Priestess is in there. All the archetypes are within you. How are you maintaining your High Priestess archetype, which, by the way, both men and women have this archetype within, because we have both the masculine and feminine archetypes. And the High Priestess archetype is the one who is you that maintains the balance within. So how are you being the space holder for that balance within? Because she's who you need to call upon right now. She's the one who observes that balance within. And she maintains that balance. She protects the gates of everything that enters and leaves. So how are you being that right now? So this is our challenge, to pull our awareness back in and to redistribute our energy and our awareness in a way that's going to be more efficient moving forward. Rather than pointing out all of the imbalances we see around us, say, how can I be a better space holder for balance to take place within and without? What can I do? And no matter how small, anything, what at all can I do to help maintain that balance within first? What could I be doing right now that would make more sense than complaining or pointing out where there's an imbalance? What little thing can I do? Well, first of all, what I could do is relax. I could breathe. Oh my gosh, we could all breathe. Breathing is free. We could all do it right here, right now. That is always a better option, to just breathe and be aware of your breath. That takes your awareness. It takes your awareness to do this. It takes your fullest presence to do this. We could all do that. So rather than pointing out all of the imbalances or harping on what is wrong with our world, or where, you know, what is out of balance, we can instead take back all of our energy and direct all of it into being aware of the breath. That's the first step. And we all have that in common. And from there, our paths begin to become more unique. We each have our own beautiful, unique ways in which we are meant to maintain that balance. So, and it depends on where you're at. There are different variables in each moment. So, for example, I might catch myself complaining and pull my energy back in and say, okay, what can I do right now to maintain the balance within? Well, I could stop complaining, first of all. I can breathe. And then maybe I can take a bath, or maybe I can do some stretching, because maybe I need to acknowledge that part of my nature more, my more feminine nature. Maybe I need to relax, right? Or it's like, maybe there's something I can do. Maybe there's some part of my active nature that I can initiate and begin to do a project, something. There's always something to do that's better than complaining, right? So in short, the message here with the challenge being the Six of Pentacles is, how can you look at how you can bring yourself back to your center, pull your awareness back in, and do what you can at the foundation to maintain that balance, because until we do that, we're not getting anywhere. So that's the first step, the challenge. Let's see who the ally is today. Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is the youthful aspect of the suit of cups. The pages are the youthful aspect of each suit, okay? So they're open-minded. We all have this archetype within us. We have the youth, we have the mother or the father within us, and we have the elder, and there are so many more. But just to sum it up, okay? So we're talking to the youthful aspect within right now. He's our ally. And the suit of cups has to do with the heart, emotions, and feeling. So the ally is telling us right now, pay attention to your feelings. Be open to feeling in a new way. Stay youthful about your feelings, your emotions. Okay, and think about it. Maybe you know a child in your life, like a good example of a child to see through their eyes. Okay, or you can get in touch with the inner child, your own inner child, and see through those eyes and ask, how would that child observe their emotions? How would that child allow their emotions to be expressed? And from there, we might receive a new perspective, because maybe the adult in us has become so accustomed or programmed to express our emotions in a certain way, or to observe them and maybe even judge them harshly in a certain way, you know? Maybe we've been taught to not express our emotions at all. So how can we go into that child archetype and consider the whole spectrum? Consider both the positive and the negative, because the consideration of it alone couldn't hurt you. So really consider the whole perspective. What would the negative, not bad, but what would the negative end of the spectrum of the child perspective express? What would it express there? And then what would it express on the more positive side of the spectrum? See yourself expressing in all of these forms. Is it helpful for you to consider those perspectives? The goal is to get into that youthful mind when considering our emotional process. This is not the King of Cups. It's not the master of the suit. It's the youthful aspect. So the ally is telling us we are right now getting in touch with our hearts in a new way. We're getting in touch with our emotional process in a new way. It's time to observe ourselves freely, because there may be some emotional stuff that's stuck there that we haven't been expressing for one reason or another. So it's not time to judge ourselves. It's not time to be overly analytical or too much in our logical mind about our emotional process. First, we need to just get it out. We need to be spontaneous in our expression, because that's the youthful archetype, is the one who doesn't hold back. He's fully in the experience, so that later he has all that material to look back on and analyze, right? That's later, that's for the king. But right now we need to be a little free with our expression. We need to get in touch with our expression emotionally in new ways. And that takes a youthful spirit. So get in touch with that youthful spirit. Okay, so this is the message. 2 cards for the first quarter reading. The challenge, 6 of Pentacles. Time to get back to the balance within. Otherwise we will not know where to start without. Bring it back to center, find that balance within. And the ally is telling us to pay attention to our emotions, our feelings. Relationships are key right now. That's where you're going to see all this stuff come up. Okay, the relationships are going to be the best rituals to observe as you go through this process right now. Look at your relationships. How are your relationships the catalyst for you to express your feelings? Or just feel your feelings, observe your feelings and emotions. How are your relationships the catalyst right now for you to observe and express yourself in new ways emotionally? Allow yourself to feel and be and express in new ways. There will be more time later to analyze this process. Be more in your feeling of it right now. If you're too judgmental of yourself, if you're too analytical of the way that you're even feeling your feelings, you're not going to fully feel them, because part of your awareness is then being distracted, because then part of your awareness is being used to judge your feelings before they're even fully there, before they're even fully felt. And that's not fair. That's not fair. So we're at the part right now where we're needing all of our presence, all of our awareness to fully feel, so we could feel in new ways. Because if part of us is, again, being overly analytical or judging before we can even fully feel that feeling, then we're not allowing ourselves that space to grow emotionally. And if we want to get to that next level of emotional mastery, which it's never ending, right? The initiations are never ending. We're always reaching new levels of it. That's why the tarot is a sequential, cyclical story. It's never ending. So if we want to get to those new levels of emotional mastery, we have to be willing to be vulnerable. We have to be willing to be transparent. We have to be unafraid of messing up, making mistakes. Mistakes are lessons in hindsight, don't forget. Don't be so afraid to take the first step in your emotional process because you're afraid of looking stupid or looking like a fool or looking like a wimp or looking weak. Don't be afraid of any of that stuff. Or what will they say? What will she think? All this stuff, like we hesitate out of fear of the response from our environment. Well, hey, if we are so confident in our expression of what we're feeling, if we really own what's within us, and we know that we need to get it out, and we know it's for the highest good of the one, then why the doubt? Why the fear? Why the holding back? Sure, ask yourself first when you're feeling something, is this wildly inappropriate to express? Because if it is, you'll know. And then maybe holding back can be the right thing to do in certain cases. You know, there's always both. You know the truth, though. You know the truth in your heart. You know what's real. So if you check in with yourself and you say, you know, this is a feeling I really got to express, and it is going to be for the highest good of the one, then baby, let it out. Then let it out. Then express it. Then why are you waiting? Make the decision and then do it. But remember, all that judging and all that I'm afraid of expressing, then you're never going to get anywhere. If you want to get to that next level of mastery, in all of the elements, but here we're talking about emotionally, we're talking about water, but our soul strives to get to that next level of mastery in our wholeness. So that means all of the elements. We're constantly striving to go deeper in each of the elemental worlds with the wisdom of each of the elements. This is what you want. This is what we all want on a soul level. Anything else is just denial. If we say otherwise, it's just denial, because this is why we're here. It's our shared purpose, is to go deeper in this elemental wisdom. That is the true magician's path. That's what you are. So we do want to go deeper. And the only way to do that, you can't get to the king without being the page first. You have to be the page first. Then you're the knight. Then you're the queen. Then you're the king. If you want to learn more about this, my second book was just published. It's called The Royal Path 2, Journey into the Minor Arcanum of Tarot. And it tells you about how to access the wisdom within each of these elemental suits and why you have to go through the page, the knight, the queen, the king, and what they all represent as part of this alchemical process. You cannot cut corners. You cannot skip steps. If you want to get to the king, you need to be the page first. So allow your inner page of cups to guide you right now. Don't be afraid of being vulnerable. The only way to get to that level of mastery is to try your best, and don't be afraid of stumbling along the way. Be confident. Don't be so afraid of falling that you never even try. You gotta even expect that there are going to be hiccups along the way. And that's blessed, because each one is going to hold a key for you. As long as you maintain your awareness, as long as you stay present, you have nothing to fear. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be shy. You have no reason to fear vulnerability. In fact, really look at that. Really look at that. This is what the ally is saying right now. Really look at your fear of being vulnerable. What are you afraid of about expressing yourself in new ways? Are you afraid to feel new things? Are you afraid to change? What are you really afraid of? Maybe the thing that needs to be let go of, or the parts of you that need to die so that the new parts of you can be born. Springtime is here. What are you afraid of letting go of? What do you have to let go of right now to embrace the new you? It's time to really acknowledge that. Dig deep, explore, and find out what there is in the way of you being vulnerable. And then don't only let go of those fears or tell yourself why you shouldn't have those fears. Talk yourself through them. Hold your hand through it. Have that inner self-dialogue and say, not only should we not be afraid, we should embrace, we should invite this change, because change is growth, is organic, is natural. It's the only constant. So we need to do, and this is what the ally is telling you right now, you need to do whatever you need to do to not only eliminate the fear of change, but to implement those practices and to insert that programming that's going to help you to embrace fully change. So not only are we letting go of the fear of change, we're putting in place those thoughts, that programming that's going to help us embrace change and support the natural process that's always trying to unfold through us. Because when we don't embrace change, when we fear it, when we fear change, we're resisting it. There's pain, there's struggle, There's resistance to a process that is trying so hard to naturally unfold, and eventually it will, because nature wins. So rather than, just letting go of that resistance and coming to a place of neutrality, let's tip the scales. Let's open up our being. Let's see ourselves opening up to receive this light. Let's tell ourselves, because you are the host of your cells. You are the holy host for your cells, right? They listen to you, just like we're the cells for the Creator. So tell your cells, okay, we're ready to open up now. Here we go. Let's open up. Literally see it. It seems fantastical. It seems all weird and magical and mystical, but it's very real and scientific, you guys. Even just the act of turning inward and talking to your cells, or having these visualizations, it at the least, puts you in a state of meditation where you're not in a state of stress or worry or thinking about things that are just futile. At least then you're bringing your awareness to what is right, to what is important, to what is real and right here, right now. But if you really want to get into the quantum mechanics of it, this is literally the way that you begin to shift your reality and heal yourself, your cells. So talk to your cells, see them opening up, see them supporting whatever change is needing to take place right now. And look to nature all around you. The signs are everywhere as to what part of the process we're currently experiencing. Know that that is happening within you, and speak to your cells and speak outwardly to the universe, because it's all one direction, in, out. There's really no such thing. So just claim it within and without, that you are in support of the change that is unfolding right now, within and all around you. Keep your heart open. Pay attention to your relationships. That's where it's all going to unfold. Happy first quarter, you guys. Thank you for joining me for this activation and for opening up this portal with me. If you know of anybody who could benefit from receiving this message, please send it to them. I'm constantly being blocked by Facebook, so I can't share my activations as much as I would like to, because it would just be considered spam. So I'm relying on y'all, my global team, to send this to those people you think would really benefit from this message, or those people you think could help to activate this portal further, more deeply enhance its message. And just so you know, people are tuning in from all over the world to hear this message. And so it's real. We're creating a grid of light, and that's why I never miss one, because I really love you guys. And thank you so much for everyone who's pre-ordered my book. The books are arriving soon, and y'all will be the first ones to get them. Again, you guys, it's called The Royal Path 2, A Journey into the Minor Arcanum of Tarot. I give a lot of my personal perspective in that book. So I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to think. Again, I'm in Portland. I'm going to be in Portland this week, but right now I'm in Bend, so I'm in Oregon right now, you guys. Going to Crystal Crane Hot Springs. I'm so excited to appreciate and enjoy the state where my two best friends live. So we're all together having a blast right now. What else did I want to share with you guys? I think that's it, you guys. I miss you all. It's been a really busy couple of weeks, so I haven't had much time to engage with you guys in our private group. If you guys aren't a part of that group yet and you want to be, it's called The Royal Path on Facebook, private group. I have another private group called Shabbat Crew, Shabbat. That's a group where I share about Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and join us. And that's it. You guys have an amazing week, and I will see you next time. If you want to share this video, but your friends don't have Facebook, just go to youtube.com/RebeccaMagic, and my video will be uploaded there shortly. All right. Shalom.